Hey, welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter, and today I'm really excited. We have a very special guest with us and very honored that she has joined our show here, and I know you're going to love hearing from her, but we have Michelle Lores from LaTigresa Fitness Company, and welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
You bet. Now, I know I don't do justice to the name, so maybe pronounce it better for our audience so they can hear exactly how it should be said with my terrible pronunciation.
You did a great job. My name is Michelle Lores, and my company is LaTigresa Fitness Co.
Now, it's a very cool name. I want to just jump right into things. Where did that name come from, and what does it mean to you?
Well, it's really special to me actually because I had a really difficult upbringing. I was emancipated at 14 years old, and I became one of the youngest talent agents in Canada. And so that's the name that they gave me when I was an agent because I went hard for my talent. So they started calling me Tiger, and it just stuck.
That is a cool name. I really like that, and I love the story behind that. So what's that one spark moment, that thing that happened in your life where you realize that fitness isn't just a movement?
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't even say that my business is about just physical fitness. It's really mental, emotional. It's about recovery. So for me, it was a calling. I wanted to be a pop star, but God had other plans for me. And I think that the moment when I felt like this is really it for me is when I was able to shift my focus and find my driving force, which is trauma recovery, and it's really optimizing the system. That was my eureka moment. Like, this is for me. This is really it. Although, I mean, I still want to be a pop star, maybe on the side.
I was going to say, we're going to have to double click into that in a little bit, but we'll come back to that later. So obviously, when you got going, you saw a need in the market. Maybe you can help our viewers understand what void you were trying to fill, when you got your company going.
Wow. I will tell anybody that's trying to start a company, you can't make it about like what void I'm trying to fill, what niche market. It's really got to be a personal thing. I'm a writer, and I had a teacher, Miss Bergstrom. She told me, if you're going to write, always write about what you know. So when I decided what direction to take this, it was like, what need can I serve? You know what I mean? And it was like a natural progression. It was very organic.
Yeah, I'm feeling the pop star vibe coming out too. I can feel it in your energy. I like that. Uh,
I like that. Thank you.
so as a fitness leader and as a business owner, self-doubt will always creep in there. How do you navigate that?
I think that my self doubt was more groomed into me, if that makes sense. I've always been very confident, and I'm the kind of person that roots for the underdog because I've always been the underdog. So I think it's really more about your driving force. If you always focus on your goal, then it's like, I'm going to slip, I'm going to trip, but I can see what's set before me, and that's going to keep me going no matter what obstacle comes in my way.
Okay. Well, that's a great segue into my next question here. So as you think about like the mindset and really kind of the practices that you have to do outside of the physical stuff, like just really kind of getting that mind in the right place, like what are some of the things that you integrate into your routine that help you, be you?
I'm so glad you asked because that's what the method that I teach is all about. It's not just physical fitness. It's like I have a concentration practice, mind mapping. So it's really about building up the inner man. And when you do that, the atmosphere must adapt itself to you, and your ultimate reality that's in here is going to be reflected back at you. I
Yeah.
hope that answered your question.
No, I think that's a great way to look at it. And it's funny, like as I listen to you talk, you have such a positive attitude about you and such a positive vibe. I'm just picturing that little head in your voice being positive, even more positive, like upping it a level even higher. But it's great to listen to you. Uh,
Thank you.
so what are some of the toughest mental workouts? Some of the toughest things mentally that you've had to deal with as an entrepreneur, and what did you do to push through those?
Right. Oh my God. Every day. I mean, look at me. I ran 10 miles today, trained, looking for a new place to. There's going to be things that come against you. In the Bible, it says it is impossible, but that offenses will come, and it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be, and it's going to do what it's going to do. And I just have to make sure that I have structure and order. And I think that's always been what has kept me so productive is that I'm super organized. Like I'll make the bed while you're still lying in it. Ask my kids. That's just how I am. That's how I have to continue to do things. And I think that's also a trauma trait. I
I
need
like
to be in control and I need to make sure that everything is structured.
like 8:05. Sorry, you're in bed. I'm making it with you in there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm militant.
I like it. So, look, every day we want to say we're our best, but everybody has those days where we just don't feel our best. We don't feel like we're ready, to be go, go, go. But we have goals that say we must go, go, go. So, how do you handle days where your body says, let's take a day off, but your goals say, no, we got to go right now?
I what's really helped me is to recognize that every day I am my best, but every day has a different requirement. Like I look at the world as something that it's my gymnasium and I'm to be exercised in it. You know what I mean? When I prepare programming for my clients, it's to bring out the best, draw out the best in them. So I may not be the best professionally today, but maybe today I'm going to be the best mom and I'm going to be there for my kid. Or, you know, um, I have the best session, but I didn't write my best piece. You know what I mean? So it's always about finding what the requirement is for that day and giving it your 100.
Yeah, I like that. And what's funny is most people, they have these such high expectations of themselves that, even if somebody has a 90% day, it's oftentimes 110% of somebody else's day for someone like you who's got that, go-go attitude. Uh,
Well, no, I mean, I trust me, I'm hard on myself. But once I find that thing, like where I'm flowing in that day, it's gonna flow into everything else. So it's like, even if I didn't do well at what I wanted to do that day, but I killed it at that. And so you have to celebrate the wins and you have to be able to stop and be like, you fucked it up. Like you killed that. And if you do that and you celebrate the wins, then those losses aren't going to seem so impactful.
Yeah. Well, talking about losses, like, is there anything that, how I'm sure like we've all had this, but, can you think of a failure or a mistake that at the time you were really like beat up over it, but it turned out that failure, that mistake ended up becoming a blessing in disguise and something is like, wow, thank goodness that happened?
That's every day for me. Every freaking day. Okay, either something happens to me or I do something, but I don't look at things as failures. I look at things as opportunities. Whether it feels good or it feels bad, it's an opportunity. I either can take something from it, I can give something to it. you know um and then you have to also learn how to dispose of the waste, meaning there's going to be stuff that really freaking sucks. Learn from it, give something, like add something to it, but then you have to be able to let go of the stuff that's really really sucks. And that's what's going to help you. Like I say, I have a catheter in my heart. I don't keep impurities in my heart. I always process it. If I have to cry, I'll cry, but then I let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Hey, listen, in a world where, like, think of the world that's all around us, especially in the world of, just kind of fitness and people who are always about grind and hustle. Like, it seems like there's a gap where, not everyone has that softness that you need to have and that balance. But how do you create that softness in a world that's just filled with just hustle and grind and go, go, go? Like, where's that downtime?
Right. I know how to plant my feet. You know what I mean? And I rehearse the truth all the time. So I'm not, I was talking to a psychologist friend of mine and she's like, we're all on this hamster wheel and this, and I'm like, I'm not on that wheel. Like I have my own inner world and my inner world is so rich that I let my inner world impact what's going on around me and I don't let what's going on around me pollute what I have going on inside. All the good shit happens in here.
That is a great mindset. I love that. Uh, Speaking of that, so okay, let's talk about fitness and our inner self, if you will. Like, how do you feel like fitness and our inner self really intersect and collide with each other in a good way?
First, I want to tell you, I love your energy and it just helps me to flow. But you're asking all of the right stuff.
I love that. Thank you.
Okay, so the body is like, let's just say that you are perfume. Okay, you're the essence, and the body is the bottle, right?
Okay.
So the essence without the bottle would just be dispersed, right? It would dissipate. It would have no concentration to it. Now, if the bottle is damaged and you can't disperse the scent, then it's trapped inside, right? So you have to learn how to drive that vehicle and maintain it, because if you drop the bottle and it crashes, you're dead, right? But if you don't know how to get that essence out, no one's ever gonna smell you. That may not be the right thing. We could even just say, like a car, like a vehicle. Your body's your vehicle, but you have to be able to drive it. And a lot of people are in there with their foot on the gas and their hands off the wheel, and they're just like, what's going on in my life? And they have no control. So once you learn how to really like work that vehicle, you're like Mario Andretti, you know?
I like that. That's it. I've never had anyone use that analogy. That is very well said. So
Thank you.
everyone can tell you're very passionate about what you do. So was there a moment, maybe a first step or early on in your journey, where you knew that you wanted to turn this personal passion that you have for helping others into a business?
No, I didn't want to do this at all. This is something that
Really?
God put in my heart to do. But I love, when I was a little girl, other people would, like the other little girls would dream of being a wife and a mom and stuff. And I was like, I want to be a superhero. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's in me to do that. So when I was able to focus it and like put my concentration and my focus and my energy in that direction, then it was just like, yeah, this is it. And then I live and I breathe that lifestyle, because I'm someone that I won't teach what I haven't mastered. You know what I mean? So I always work on myself first, and then I let that flow through me and they get the overflow of me. So the more I work on myself, the more it motivates me and it makes me better to be able to, share that gift with others.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way you say things. So there's a lot of viewers out here that are maybe just beginning to start their own business, or they're about to embark on their entrepreneurial journey. And you've done that. But if somebody's looking to get into either the fitness or health and wellness space, like, what advice would you give to them, as they're getting started?
You have to always rehearse the truth, because in any type of business, whether it's fitness or anything else, people are always going to try to move you. You need to be moved by what's inside of you, and that's what's going to give you the power the strength to keep going. Because what is strength? Strength is the ability to resist being moved or broken by a force. And whenever you're starting a business, there's gonna be opposition.
Uh,
So when you build yourself up internally, you're going to be able to handle everything. And then another thing that I would say is just like, have grace for yourself, because our expectations are so high. You need to be able to be like, you know what? I am not where I want to be, but today I'm so proud of what I did today. I'm so proud of, just like, find one thing that you can celebrate, and then also find one thing to be grateful for every single day. Like before you do anything, you have to start the day with gratitude, because if there's no gratitude, then that seed of bitterness is going to grow and it's going
yeah.
to take root.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that. Everybody thinks about these goals that are so far out in the distance, and there's like these little wins that you have along the way to reach your goals, and people don't celebrate them enough. You're absolutely right. Like, we get
Right.
so fixated on the finish line and it's so far away that you never feel like you win. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I like that. Well, listen, when this is all said and done, and your business, and you're off retired, or maybe you got called by Taylor to open up for her, and you're a pop star, or something happens in life. Like, what do you want your clients, your customers, the people who know you to remember you and your business by?
Oh, the first thing that I want to be remembered for is my love. I'd like to be remembered for my discipline, my faith, my integrity, and then just my ability to give and to fill others, for sure, to empower people.
Those are good things. One last question for you, Michelle, and you've been amazing. So, for
Thank
anyone
you.
out there that's maybe not happy with the story that's unfolded so far in their life, and they're looking to rewrite it either mentally or physically or even spiritually, what advice would you give to them?
Repentance is a daily practice, like taking a shower. Every day is fresh with no mistakes in it. So every single morning when you wake up, it's an opportunity for you to fuck it up. Like, to just go hard and do you. And people are afraid of that. You have the power in you, but if you do not release that, it remains potential and it dies with you. So just know that every single day you can start over again. And you don't have to focus on the mistakes from the past because everything you are is now.
Yeah, love that. Well, listen, Michelle, it has been such a privilege talking to you today. You have great energy. I will not be surprised if one day you message me and say, "Hey, do you want to interview me as a pop star?" Because I could see it happening.
Oh,
You got so much excitement behind you. But thanks again for taking time out. And just for our viewers, I'll add all of your contact information and socials and everything in there. But is there a website or anywhere you want them to go to if they want to learn more about you and what you're all about?
right. Sure. The best place to reach me is probably on Instagram. I like to focus on that. It's LaTigresa Fit or mishi.latigresa.
All right, and I'll add those into the episode. But listen, thanks again. It's been an honor talking to you, and have a great rest of the week.
Oh, thank you so much. I love your energy and all the best to you with this podcast. I hope that you'll have me again.
Absolutely. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Bye.